Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Shoney's Tuesday Night Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We're getting ready to do 66 laps here at this mile and a half here in Kentucky. Currently at the top of the leaderboard, we see the 20 of Justin Mcmahon. Sitting second, Kevin Powell and Teddy Wisniewski. Currently your third fastest on track. Haven't seen Teddy in a while. Good to see him back here in the series. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. Starting with our driver points, and up at the top of the board, we see Jonathan Jennings is your points leader. Kevin Thompson sits back in second. Adam Gardner, Jeremiah Stutzman, and Michael Bowen round out your top five. Kevin Powell, Eric Peck, Andrew Hayes, Justin McMahon, and Daniel Wilkerson, your top 10. As we continue this southern swing here in the Doghouse Racing League this season, let's take a look at our team points here tonight. See Elite Southern Motorsports, or Elite Southern Racing, at the top of the board. Twisted Axle Racing, then Loud Pedal, Shoney's Racing, Lazy Lizard Racing at the top Motorsports, and Southern Boy Racing. So we see Sony Racing did pick up a position last week, so a couple drivers making some moves. We've got about 30 seconds left here in practice before we get ready to get qualifying underway. Of course, as always, I want to thank our great partners that make this league possible. Starting, of course, with Shoney's. And Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, those strawberry pies are great for family gatherings, office gatherings, holidays, picnics, and any celebration you'd like to make just a little bit sweeter. So here we go. Qualifying is underway. Let's see who one of the first drivers to make their way down on the pit road will be. It looks like the 78 of Daniel Wilkerson, the first truck to make it out onto the racetrack. And that Mountain Dew kickstart machine. And Kentucky Speedway, a bit of a challenging speedway. It's got the typical cookie cutter shape to it, but this is before the repave that they had. So this is the legacy version of the track. So there's a lot of character. There's a lot of bumps to this track. You'll see these drivers bouncing around. Tire wear will be very important here tonight. Nicholas Ford says, I love pie. Hey, you know the Shoney's strawberry pies? They're something you should check out. And Daniel will make his way down into turns 1 and 2. You see him hugging that low lane, but the high lane will be just as popular here tonight as the run goes on and the truck starts sliding around. So watch for that tonight as you see drivers start to move themselves around. You see Daniel now working the middle lanes off through turns 3 and 4. Down across the start-finish line, and Daniel's first lap is going to be good enough for a 32.77. I see who else is out there now. Chris Leftwich just making his way down into turns 3 and 4, coming to take his white flag. As he makes his way off of turn the number 4 and down to the stripe. All right, he's going to throw in a 32.72. Christopher Simon, 32.64. So a couple drivers already making some laps down. Jonathan Jennings just went to the top of the board with a 32.53. As Chris Leftwich is going to call it quits at the end of that lap. We see the 93 of Kevin Powell out on track right now. We see Powell come across the stripe. He's going to jump up to 6th on the speed chart currently. Mike Hayes just coming across the start-finish line. He's going to go 10th on his first lap. Here comes Kevin Thompson. Down across the stripe for the checkered flag. Way down on the apron. And he is going to actually not run a faster time. He's going to run a little slower time that time. So he's going to currently be in the 7th position. Here comes Mcmahon across the stripe. And he's going to jump up to the provisional pole. See if anybody can knock him off here. As we see Mike Hayes coming off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Way down on that apron as well, across the stripe. And Hayes is only going to be able to move himself up into the 6th position. And at the moment, that looks like everybody who's going to make their way out on the track. We got about a minute and a half left before we get racing here tonight. So while we've got a minute, we want to, again, thank you for joining us, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch. We do appreciate you coming out and joining us here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out and support us over at IntensityBroadcasting.com, where you find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, not just Intensity gear, but some of your favorite leagues, as well as Atlee Atman Weiss's gear is there as well. So you want to check that out at IntensityBroadcasting.com. For setup shots and setup and coaching, you can check out EPIRacing.com for anything iRacing involved. And, of course, we want to thank our great sponsor, Butt Kicker, the established and trusted leader in haptics. Butt Kicker's awarding line of haptic transducers lets you feel ultra-low frequency sounds. The products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is what I own, and it's the new and upgraded sim racing haptic device that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Check out thebuttkicker.com. And as I mentioned, I do have the Gamer Plus myself. It's a really neat thing. It actually allows you to feel things you normally can't feel in the car. You can feel when the tires slip. You can feel the gear shifts, the rev of the engine. So definitely something, if you're looking for that little extra piece of immersion, check out thebuttkicker.com. Well, qualifying has ended. Let's take a look at the starting grid tonight. And starting on pole is the 20 machine of Justin McMahon. Jonathan Jennings will roll off from P2. Steve Gerber in the 19. He'll roll off from the 13th position, with Ricky Hudges, the second, back in 4th. Row 3 will find the 78 of Daniel Wilkerson and Mike Hayes rolling off from the 6th position. Kevin Powell and Kevin Thompson, a couple of Kevins, back in row number 4. Then Christopher Simon and Chris Leftwich back in row number 5. Mike Leftwich, he'll roll off in 11th with Adam Gardner, last week's winner, rolling off 12th. Andrew Hayes rolling off from the 13th position. Jeremiah Stutzman back in 14th. 15th will be Eric Peck with Adam Thompson back in 16th. Randall Barnett, P17, and Leander Johnson back in position number 18. Row 10 will find Corey Lavallo and Mike Bowen, and then Doug Solms and Teddy Wisniewski round out the rest of the field here tonight at Kentucky. And Nicholas Ford says he misses racing with us guys broadcasting. Hope to get back soon. Hey, Nick, it's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Know you've been pretty busy with your real world racing, but good to see you here in the broadcast and checking us out here tonight. So we're getting ready for the trucks to make their way out onto pit road. Sorry, make their way off of pit road and get ready to do battle here at Kentucky for 66 laps. Remember, we do have a stage break. Well, not a stage break, excuse me, but there will be a stage ending at halfway, so bonus points will be paid out. So just like NASCAR does, the midway stage, they will get 10 points for first place, 9 points for second place on back. To 10th place will get 1 bonus point. And of course, the playoffs will start on January 10th. But here we go. We're getting ready to go racing, excuse me. Justin McMahon getting ready to lead him down to the starting zone. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Not really sure why my software popped up like that. I apologize for that little pop-up there, but here we go. Pace car is in. McMahon's going to lead him down to the green flag. Of course, this is Old Kentucky, so there is no restart zone here tonight. So McMahon's going to have to wait till the green flag comes out to get going here tonight. And there it is, green flag in the air. We are racing. And already a great battle side-by-side down into turn number 1. McMahon down on that low side, having that advantage down there. For now, as I mentioned, though, as the run goes on, we'll see that high lane start to come in. Steve Gerber kind of trapped out on that low side right now, trying to work to the inside of Jonathan Jennings. And you see Ricky Hudges up there on the outside as well. And we almost got 4 wide as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. They're going to cycle back to 3 wide as Hudges way up on the top side. Here comes Kevin Thompson as well through the mix. He's already up 3 spots in the first lap. He's trying to make his way up to the front quickly. Chris Leftwich right behind Thompson. Mike Hayes up on the high side. And Hudges just hanging out on that high side right now, using that high lane advantage to keep himself up there as McMahon isn't really able to pull away just yet. Jonathan Jennings now thought about taking a look down to the inside, wasn't able to as they make their way down into turn 3 and 4. McMahon able to hold off and keep the lead off of turn number 4. Just behind, we saw some 3 wide racing again as Chris Leftwich was down on the low side, but Thompson was able to sneak back in the low side in front of him and keep his momentum moving as he's trying to look around the inside of Steve Gerber. Gerber shuts the door, though, doesn't allow Thompson to get that run off the corner. As they come down the backstretch, here comes Jennings with a run down the inside of Justin McMahon down into turn number 3. Jennings trying to use that low lane advantage on these fresh tires to get around the 20 machine of McMahon. And as they come off of turn number 4, McMahon on that high side has the momentum. He's going to be able to hold on for now, but that time Jonathan Jennings just noses ahead to take the lead. Here comes Gerber, though, trying to get down back to the back bumper of Jennings as McMahon's trying to get a run up on the high side off of turn number 2. Almost like a super speedway the way they're drafting right now as they're side by side by side by side, 3 rows back. Here comes Gerber trying to force it 3 wide. Down to the stripe to start lap number 5. And McMahon's going to have the lead by just a nose. Behind, though, we see the drivers without fresh air kind of struggling to try to make a move by. It's really difficult to pass on fresh tires here, but as the trucks start to loosen up, as the tires start to wear off, that's where the cream rises to the top. And we see Gerber kind of running that middle lane yet again. Now he's going to tuck back down in front of Kevin Thompson. Further back through the pack, we see Adam Gardner working that low lane right now. He's already up 3 spots. Eric Peck in the 1. He's already up 4 spots as they're trying to work around Christopher Simon down on that low side. And now we've got a battle up front for 3 wide for the 3rd position. Hudges and Chris Leftwich and Gerber just 3 wide. Now Leftwich is going to slide in front of both of them, move him up to the 3rd spot as now he's challenging Jonathan Jennings for that 2nd position as they come off a turn at number 4. So Leftwich with a great run early, trying to get himself up towards the front. And now our first 4 drivers starting to break away a little bit from the 93 of Kevin Powell. Powell, though, using that draft to get right back up as Hudges able to keep in line with these drivers as well. And Leftwich trying to use that low line to get around Jonathan Jennings, but Jennings is able to keep him held off on that high side for now. But here comes Leftwich yet again down on the low side. He's going to have the position. He's going to look underneath McMahon off of turn number 4. Side by side to the line, McMahon just barely inching out the 13 as they come across the stripe and down into turns 1 and 2. So already a lot of action here up at the front with McMahon and Jennings trading lead a few times. But here comes Chris Leftwich trying to take the lead as they go down into turns 3 and 4. And this time Leftwich is going to clear the 20 of McMahon, and he's going to take that lead away. So move the 13 of Leftwich up 9 positions into the lead as we come across the stripe to start lap number 9. Just behind we see Kevin Powell and Ricky Hudges side by side. This is a battle for 4th position. Mike Hayes right there as well. He wants to be part of this battle. He's trying to get a little bit lower than Hudges through the corner, but not quite able to sneak that 96 machine down underneath Ricky Hudges' machine. We see the 19 of Steve Gerber kind of pushing that 96 along. Kevin Thompson now moves up to the high side. Right behind him, the 35 of Christopher Simon. They're trying to move themselves up towards the front as well. Mike Hayes, gets a little loose there. Catches the bumps a little not the right way through the corner and got a little loose, but able to hang on to it. That allows Kevin Thompson to get right around. So move Thompson up into the 6th position as the front of the field starting to get a little more single file as the tires start to show their age. And now the drivers are starting to move around and find the grip. As we mentioned, we're going to start seeing some drivers maybe sliding up the track a little bit, trying to find the grip up on the high side. As Mike Hayes now makes his way around Gerber, and here comes Christopher Simon on the high side, trying to get around that 19 as well. Just behind, we see Adam Thompson battling side by side with Eric Peck, and Thompson going to move a position up. And now we see Simon make some big moves 3 wide down into turn number 3. Adam Gardner tight on him as they come off of turn number 4. And they are side by side 3 wide here from 7th on back. Kevin just saw some side by side racing up front here as Kevin Thompson was trying to get around Mike Hayes. And just in front of that, we see Jonathan Jennings down on the low side, trying to keep his momentum. And as that's going to go down, Chris Leftwich just driving away. Almost a second lead over the rest of the field as Ricky Hudges now takes a look to the back bumper of the 91. Running a little bit higher line, trying to get some air on the nose of that machine to keep the downforce on the front of that machine to help it turn. Back here, Steve Gerber, we see he's been up into the wall. He's got Eric Peck now down to the inside, and Gerber starting to slide backwards, so maybe some heavy contact for that 19 machine. He's already lost 9 positions from where he started. He's continuing to slide backwards, unfortunately for him, as he's got the one of Eric Peck trying to make his way around as well. Daniel Wilkerson, who started back in 5th, has fallen all the way back into the 14th position. He's working to the inside of Andrew Hayes. We see some more 3 wide here down the front stretch to 71 of Stutzman, trying to get around Corey Lavallo in the 06. I'm sorry, Jeremiah Stutzman, the 06 is Lavallo up on the high side in the 50. Not sure the number is, that's 63 of Randall Barnett, excuse me. It's kind of hard to see the number on the side of that machine. I wanted to make sure I was calling the right driver. But up front, we still got battles going on. The 55 of Hudges and the 93 of Kevin Powell are side by side down into turn number 1. Sorry for that. I couldn't hit the mute button fast enough as swallowed my water just a little the wrong way. But yeah, we got Hudges was able to tuck back in line behind the 93 of Kevin Powell. So right now the field's starting to get a little more single file. Randall Barnett continues sliding backwards. He just got passed by the 67 of Doug Solms and the 25 of Michael Bowen, now trying to make his way up into the mix as well. Adam Gardner taking a look to the outside of Christopher Simon as they battle side by side. And while that's going on, we see Kevin Thompson looking down to the inside of Mike Hayes, but just not able to make that move happen. So side by side here, though, this is a battle for the 9th position. Simon has it. Gardner wants it. They make their way off of turn number 2. So some great battles throughout the field so far tonight. Gardner looks like he's going to be able to clear the 35 of Christopher Simon as we ride along Gardner and take a look off the back bumper. One thing you'll notice, this track very abrasive. You can see the way the track looks is exactly how it's scanned here in iRacing. So would this be the legacy track before they had the rescan? Track very, very aggressive as Mike Hayes looks down to the inside of Ricky Hudges, trying to take over that 5th position. Kevin Thompson right there in the mix as well. So far, all green flag racing here at Kentucky as Jonathan Jennings now has the 93 of Kevin Powell trying to take a look down to the inside, and Mcmahon is running Chris Leftwich back down. So after Leftwich had almost a second lead, Mcmahon slowly crawling back up to the back bumper of that 13 machine. Kevin Thompson has now gotten around Mike Hayes. Mike Hayes, though, trying to fight back on the high side as they go down into turn number 1. And we are about 16 laps from the stage. I was going to say stage break, but they really don't break here for the stage. A big move from Mike Hayes down to the inside. You saw that truck get way out of shape as he cut hard down to the left to try to get around Kevin Thompson. Thompson, though, able to fire off on that high side just a little bit better. And now Mike Hayes under attack from Adam Thompson in the 16. And now we got a battle back for the lead as Mcmahon just flies around the 13 of Chris Leftwich like Leftwich was going backwards. So it looks like Leftwich may have burnt off his tires just a little bit. As we ride along here with Chris Leftwich, and we'll listen just how much he's not lifting off the throttle here. Well, it sounds like he's getting off the throttle quite a bit to get down into turns 1 and 2. And he's able to stay right there with Mcmahon, so using that draft is actually helping him out quite a bit down into turns 3 and 4. He will drive a little bit deeper than Mcmahon. He's going to catch right up on the back bumper. Just not quite close enough to make any moves happen. See, Leftwich able to get into the corner just a little bit better. But just not able to make the move as we've got a battle back here between Ricky Hudges and Kevin Powell. Hudges looking down to the inside this time. Powell up on the high side. And by now those tires are starting to really wear out. Surprised they're able to hold the bottom as well as he is. And how about Jonathan Jennings coming back into the mix here? He's running down the 13 of Chris Leftwich to try to get into the battle for the lead. Hudges able to clear Kevin Powell, but Powell's going to fight back down on the low side. A little crossover here, and while that's going on, that allows Kevin Thompson right into this mix as well. So last year's champion Thompson trying to get himself up towards the front as well. Using that apron, saw him down below the yellow line, trying to use that to help him turn. As Adam Thompson now looks up to the high side. And Adam Thompson going to move his way around Kevin Thompson. Leftwich now has Jonathan Jennings looking down to the inside. Jennings trying to retake over that second position. Ooh, Leftwich got a little loose. Had to chase up the track. Almost got into the wall there. And but able to get out and back out in front of Jonathan Jennings as Mike Hayes now looking to the outside of Kevin Powell. Hayes was just able to get around Kevin Thompson. As Adam Thompson starts to make his way towards the front. So a couple of big comers and goers here tonight. A couple drivers who are towards the front, falling back now. Drivers who are a little further back, trying to work their way through the field. And some drivers able to keep the tires underneath them and save tires just a little bit better. Mcmahon being one of those. Now his lead over Chris Leftwich is just over a second as Leftwich and Jennings are continuing to battle for this second position. Leander Johnson made his way down pit road. Steve Gerber coming down pit road as well. Those drivers outside the top 10 not going to be able to get any stage points, so might as well make their way down pit road and get some tires early. As Kevin Thompson and Mike Hayes go back at it here. This again is a battle for 6th and 7th. Chris Leftwich has Jonathan Jennings right there on that back bumper. I wish I could throw some split screen up for both the battles on screen, but just big battles all over the track as now Jennings looks like he's going to try to throw a slider here on the 13 of Chris Leftwich, but Leftwich able to power on that high side and keep himself side by side, if not better than the 91. So as I mentioned early in the broadcast, as tires wear off, people are going to start moving up the track just a little bit. And right now that high lane is the preferred line to be if you're trying to make a pass or even try to stay out in front of the driver. Trying to take that air away and force him down on the low side is going to guarantee that you're going to have a little better run off the corner. And Leftwich is already running back down the 20 of Mcmahon. McMahon's lead was over a second. Now it's 0.3 seconds. So we're kind of seeing that flip-flop. We're seeing that driver gets out in front, starts to pull away, burns off his stuff, falls back to second place, and Leftwich trying to win the stage here and get himself the 10 bonus points. Just 2 laps left in the stage. Andrew Hayes made his way down on the pit road. Does Leftwich have anything for Mcmahon? Or can Jonathan Jennings? Oh, Mcmahon and Leftwich both making their way on pit road. A bunch of drivers making their way down on the pit road. That's going to give Jonathan Jennings the lead. As we start lap number 33. That's going to bring up our midway stage sponsor, Tiffany Leftwich, an independent consultant of Pink Zebra. You can check out her web store at pinkzebrahome.com/sprinklebutterflies. So check that out. There is a link down below in the description, as well as the rest of the field makes their way down on the pit road. And Jeremiah Stutzman will be the only driver, actually him and Mike Leftwich and Doug Solms, really the only drivers to stay out on the racetrack. Here comes Randall Barnett as well, so he's going to stay out on the racetrack. as we see the field making their way back on to the track. So again, don't forget to check out our midway stage sponsor, Tiffany Leftwich, down at the link in the description. Here comes Mcmahon and Chris Leftwich going back around Jeremiah Stutzman. Mike Leftwich right here as well, trying to battle with Stutzman. Those two look like they're trying to save a little bit of fuel. So that's going to put Chris Leftwich and Just McMahon, all of them back on the lead lap. Just on the very tail end of the lead lap, as here comes Jeremiah Stutzman down on the pit road. Randall Barnett is already on pit road. You see a lot of damage to the right side of that machine. Doug Solms also on pit road, as Mike Leftwich continues to be the leader currently. As we have 30 laps to go. So when it all cycles through, Chris Leftwich will be your leader. Adam Thompson will be in second. McMahon will be back in third. Hudges and Jennings will be your top five, as here comes Mike Leftwich down on the pit road. And now Adam Thompson and Chris Leftwich battling for the top spot, as Adam Thompson going to get around that 13 machine, so move him up to the lead. Steve Gerber and Daniel Wilkerson, these guys are battling for 11th and 12th. We saw the damage that Gerber had on his truck earlier, and it slowed him down. It looks like it's still not doing him any favors. For those who never tuned in for a Doghouse race before, these guys do not run resets. So any damage that they get in the race, they will have to either get fixed on pit road or have to deal with, as Chris Leftwich and Just McMahon are battling side by side. Behind them, Jonathan Jennings and Ricky Hudges side by side. Now everybody's going to get single file again as they come down the front stretch and across the stripe to start lap number 39. Adam Gardner, Mike Hayes, they're side by side, as Hayes working that inside lane, able to get around that 56 machine. But here comes Adam back on the low side, using a little crossover, trying to take that position back away. He's going to throw a little slide job here up in front of Hayes to take back the 6th position, as Just McMahon, Chris Leftwich, and Jonathan Jennings are all battling up front for 2nd place, as Adam Thompson just pulling away right now. Has a 2-second lead over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th back here, all battling for position. You can see Thompson way out in front. As we take a look from the blimp, you don't even see Thompson on the screen. That's how far out in front he is. You see Hudges, though, looking down. I'm sorry, that's Gardner looking down to the inside of Mike Hayes. Beautiful view from above to just show you where everybody's running a little bit different lines here through the corners. You see Adam Thompson still really not in the picture. That's how far ahead he is, as his lead over Justin McMahon is continuing to grow. Jennings back down to the inside of McMahon. He's going to take over the lead. I'm sorry, take over 2nd place. And now Mike Hayes, Adam Gardner, and Kevin Thompson all battling back here. This is a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Chris Leftwich back down to the inside of McMahon as they come down the front stretch. We have just 25 laps to go. through this front group. There's great battles all over the place as Mike Hayes tries to run up on the back bumper of Kevin Thompson. Here comes Adam Gardner down to the low side. Gardner and Hayes have been going at it lap for lap for quite a few laps now. Now Adam Thompson's lead is starting to shrink a little bit. It got up to 2.3 seconds. And now Jonathan Jennings is starting to run him down. Last time by, well, we'll just throw it up there so we can see it. Last time by, Jennings was 3.5 tenths quicker than Thompson out in front. Question is, can Thompson hold on to get the win, and can the yellow hold off to keep Thompson up at the front? Thompson would really like to see Chris Leftwich start to battle here with Jennings to try to slow them both down. As Kevin Thompson now up into the 5th position, and he's working on the back bumper of Justin McMahon. So McMahon has kind of had an up and down race, all race long, kind of up and down segments, if you will. Gets up to the front, falls back, goes back up to the front, falls back. It really seems like the way that he's running, he really starts to heat up the tires, and he's runs a few laps, cooling those tires back off. But right now we see Kevin Thompson trying to look down to the inside of McMahon, but just not close enough to make that move. Back up front, Adam Thompson now. His lead was over 2 seconds just a few laps ago. That lead's been cut down to 1.2 seconds as Jonathan Jennings continues to try to run down that 16 machine. And Chris Leftwich back in 3rd. McMahon and Thompson round out your top 5 as Mike Hayes and Ricky Hedges are battling side by side. This is a battle for 7th and 8th. Christopher Simon back in 9th trying to join this battle as well. Daniel Wilkerson back in the 10th position just behind them. Daniel's looking for somebody to slip up in front of him so he can make his way around, as we see a little drafting help here as Simon's starting to push the 55 of Hudges by. Here comes Hayes, though, battling back down on the low side. Up front, the lead of Adam Thompson has shrank to under a second now. 9/10 of a second is the interval between 1st and 2nd. And last time by, Jennings only ran a 10th quicker. So it looks like within the next 10 laps, he should be able to catch Jennings. I'm sorry, catch Thompson. The thing is, though, it's one thing to run somebody down, and it's another thing to get by him. So we'll see if Jennings can not just get to the back bumper, but get around the 16 of Thompson as well. It sounds like a couple drivers starting to save some fuel. You see Jennings going right on by the 16 of Adam Thompson. Doesn't sound like he's saving too much fuel. But here we go, riding along with Adam Thompson. See if he's shutting it off here. Yeah, you hear that truck shutting off, going down into the corner, trying to save as much fuel as he can. Here's Chris Leftwich battling with Justin McMahon. Here's a great onboard view as well. I wonder if either one of these drivers are saving any fuel. We'll listen as they go down into turn number 1. Yeah, not having to save as aggressively as Adam Thompson is right now. Thompson, though, even though he's saving fuel, he's staying right there with Jennings. Oh, almost runs into the back of Jennings as he didn't have the engine braking that Jennings had, and that's going to allow Mcmahon to slide right on through as well, but makes me wonder if these guys have enough fuel to make it to the end as we see Kevin Thompson all over the back bumper. Chris Leftwich, Daniel Wilkerson now making his way down pit road for more service. Must be a splash of fuel. As now Thompson and Thompson are side by side. Adam on the high side, Kevin on the low side. And Kevin's going to be able to go right on by. And they pretty much all pitted within a lap of each other. So if Adam Thompson is that low on fuel where he's saving that aggressively, that tells me that everybody's going to have to make their way down pit road. So with 13 and a half laps left, this race could come down to fuel mileage. Here comes Kevin Thompson looking down underneath the 13 of Chris Leftwich. Right behind, we see Adam Gardner and Adam Thompson side by side. And Mike Hayes hanging on here as well. I wonder how much fuel Mike is trying to save. Doesn't really sound like he's trying to save all that much. So he's working down to the inside of Adam Thompson. So last week, we saw Adam Gardner win it on fuel mileage. This week, we might see the same thing again as Gardner looking down to the inside of Chris Leftwich. He's going to slide up in front of that 13 machine. Here comes Mike Hayes and Adam Thompson right on by as well. And here comes Christopher Simon. So I think thinking Leftwich maybe in aggressive fuel saving mode himself as he's starting to really slide backwards as this run is going on as Jonathan Jennings continues to lead by almost a half second. And Mcmahon really trying to make his way up towards the front. Mike Hayes now side by side. Oh, almost some contact between him and Adam Gardner. That causes the 96 to have to check up a little bit. He's going to lose all his momentum. Adam Thompson's going to go back on by as well. And we have 10 laps to go here at Kentucky. Adam Gardner working his way around Adam Thompson, although Thompson's been fighting back on that high side. Mike Hayes now starting to fall off a little bit. See Kevin Thompson's father rooting him on out there tonight as well as Kevin's got himself up into the podium, sitting back in third while the fuel mileage race is continuing. Mcmahon getting around the 06 of Corey Lavallo, the lap truck. And he's trying to run down Jonathan Jennings, and it's a half-second interval between those two. Adam Gardner now looking down to the low side of Adam Thompson. Which Adam is going to prevail as Thompson catches the wall. That's going to slow him down. He loses all his momentum. That allows Gardner, Hayes, and Christopher Simon to all get around. And Christopher Leftwich now in a heavy fuel saving mode himself. Oh, sounds like actually no. Sounds like left switch is starting to shift a little bit. Which is the exact opposite of fuel saving. Maybe it's just a one-time thing that he dropped it down in the third. Maybe he was trying something different to try to make something happen. Ricky Hudges now on pit road. Coming to get a splash of fuel. Next time we come by, Jonathan Jennings is going to come across the stripe to take 5 laps to go. How much fuel is in the top 3? We know Adam Gardner is great at saving fuel. We saw that last week as he currently runs in the 4th position. See Daniel Wilkerson making his way through here as he was just on pit road just a few moments ago getting tires and fuel. And Mike Hayes now looking to split the 06. He's going to try to look down to the inside of Adam Gardner. He's going to take that position away with just 4 laps to go. Gardner, though, trying to fight back hard on the high side. Trying to use those old tires up on that high side to keep the momentum and keep himself out in front of Mike Hayes. Hayes is going to have the advantage down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Just 3 laps to go here for Jonathan Jennings. Justin McMahon just over a half a second back. Kevin Thompson almost 3 seconds back behind McMahon. We see Thompson running all by himself back here, currently in 3rd, but up on the podium as Jennings having to deal with a little bit of lap traffic. As he comes across the stripe, popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go for Jonathan Jennings. Can he hold on? Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end here? Same with McMahon. Do either one of these drivers have enough fuel to make it to the checkers? It's behind we see the 32 of Leander Johnson, who is on pit road, making his way around the 20 of McMahon. And off of turn number 4, white flag will be in the air. Just 1 lap to go. Jennings and McMahon under a second between those two. Do they have enough fuel to make it all the way around this 1.5 mile speedway? And Christopher Simon falling back right now. He was just running in 5th. He's falling back. I think he's out of fuel. But off of turn number 4, Jonathan Jennings way down on the low side. Coming across the stripe. Jonathan Jennings is going to get the win here at Kentucky. Justin McMahon comes home in 2nd. Kevin Thompson off of turn number 4. He's going to come home 3rd. Mike Hayes looks like he's out of fuel now. Comes home 4th. And Adam Gardner with a fantastic run up into the 5th position. But it's all about the 91 of Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight at Kentucky. Now, more importantly, does he have enough fuel in the tank to do a little burnout here on the front stretch? Sounds like it's sputtering as he's trying to get the burnout going. Let's take a look at the results here tonight. Again, Jonathan Jennings is your winner. Justin McMahon comes home second. Kevin Thompson, final spot of the podium, in third. Mike Hayes comes home fourth, and Adam Gardner comes home fifth. Christopher Simon brings it home in sixth. Kevin Powell in seventh. Adam Thompson in eighth. Jeremiah Stutzman and Chris Leftwich round out your top 10. Mike Leftwich comes home 11th. Eric Peck back in 12th. Andrew Hayes in 13th. Daniel Wilkerson falls back to 14th. Doug Solms finishes up in 15th. Not really sure why that just happened on my screen. Sorry about that. 16th, Ricky Hudges, Steve Gerber, and Michael Bowen round out your top 18. 19th will be Leander Johnson, Randall Barnett 20th, Corey Lavallo back in 21st, and Teddy Wozniewski back in the 22nd position. As we get ready to talk to our top three, starting with your third place finisher tonight, the 21 of Kevin Thompson. Kevin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I got you.
Man, great run for you here tonight on the podium. Showing the consistency you showed last season, really paying off for you. Had to save some fuel there at the end, it looks like, to get to the checkers. But how much fuel did you save? I saw that you fell off about 3 seconds from the first two runners there.
I ran out on the last lap at the line. I used the tires up coming through the field after the pit stop, and I just didn't have enough for Jonathan or Justin.
Yeah, but still great job here. I saw you running pretty hard there, and I was going to ask, that was my second question, if you burned off those tires. Here in Kentucky, especially this older legacy track, the tire wear is, the fall off is huge here. How much did that affect the way that you drove the truck here tonight to try to keep yourself up towards the front?
Yeah, I tried to, that before the pit stops, I was trying to save tire just to stay in the top 10 to then get into the pits and get a good pit stop and come out back in the top 10 and drive my way forward. Yeah, the tires didn't last long, probably good 10 to 15 laps.
Well, able to, again, keep yourself up on the podium, have a great points night tonight as you continue to march your way up the leaderboard here in the Doghouse Racing League. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout you got to give here tonight, Kevin?
Yeah, my team at Twisted Axle Racing and my family that watches every week. Daniel for putting us on and y'all calling a great race.
Awesome, man. Next week, it's going to be a home race for you as we move to Atlanta. How do you like your chances next week in Atlanta?
I don't like the new configuration. It is what it is.
Well, there you have your third place finisher, Kevin Thompson. Again, congrats. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, you too.
So let's bring in your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great finish for you here tonight. Kind of an up and down race for you. You'd be up in the front, then you'd fall back, then you'd march your way back up again. Was it just the way the tires cycled for you that you were able to do that, or you just burn them off, try to save them, burn them off again, or what happened there?
Yeah, the first run there, I was trying to save tires the best I could. This place is brutal on tires, so the tire wear wasn't good, what we saw in practice, and I knew that if I wanted to stay out front and be consistent and keep a decent pace, that I'd have to try to save a little bit. But I felt like every time I did that those guys would they'd just about run me over. So I knew that if they were going to get a run on me and fight me, I wasn't going to race them hard for it because I knew it was going to tear my stuff up. So I was able to catch back up to Chris there on that first run. Then after that, it was saving fuel.
Yeah, and 66 laps caution free. That kind of had to surprise you a little bit and throw a little wrench in there as far as fuel saving goes here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely did. I did not think that it was going to go green all 66 laps. I wasn't really looking forward to having to do math in my head when I'm trying to hit my marks and run. So it was a little interesting. It was nerve-wracking there. I was clutching for like the last 20 laps or so, trying to save as much as I could, and I came across the line with like, I don't know, 0.1 gallons left, I think. I ran out on the back stretch coming into turn 3, so.
Well, able to hold on to that second place finish. Good points tonight for you tonight. Move on to Atlanta next week. How do you like chances at the new Atlanta?
I'm excited. A lot of guys don't like it because it's really not a whole lot of thinking involved. You can kind of run wide open just like you can at a plate track, but it keeps everybody kind of tight and packed. Gives you a little bit better opportunity, but it also keeps you on your toes because you could end your race in a blink of an eye too. So, but no, I like it. I think we've been pretty good there in the past, so I look forward to it. Should be fun. Hopefully somebody can take down Jonathan. He's won too many in a row, so you got to have somebody else up there. We got to get him, but it'll be good. It'll be a good time.
For sure. Well, before I let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for doing the broadcast. BMF Detailing for the sponsor on the truck, and Loud Pedal Racing for Daniel and Eddie and Bill for taking me in a couple seasons ago, and congrats to Jonathan on the, I don't know, millionth win I think he's got in the series. So
this would be his third win in 4 races.
Yeah, well, the other leagues too that we're in with him, he's been dominant. But yeah, that's about it.
So you're saying the 91 truck to the inspection bay after this?
I'm not gonna poke the bear, but you might want to, flag somebody down and have them check the tires or something on it. Maybe the carburetor.
For sure. Well, again, congrats with the second place finish. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see it.
So that was your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
First things first, Justin McMahon said you win too much. So I have to throw that out there first. But, man, great run tonight. Getting your third win of the season in just 4 races. Fuel kind of seemed to be the thing on everybody's mind there towards the end of the race. How I saw you weren't able to do any burnouts, so I imagine you were out of fuel there as you crossed the line.
Yeah, I was out, so oh well. I got the win, so I let my teammates do the burnout.
There you go. That's one way to do it. And I'll ask you the same thing I just asked Justin. 66 laps caution free, kind of probably threw a monkey wrench in things and kind of surprised you. Were you expecting this one to go flag to flag, green flag, or were you kind of thinking a yellow might come out and change the strategy a little?
With how the trucks have been, I wasn't expecting it to go green, but like after running on the track, it's pretty nice. It's better than the Kentucky that they have now. So
yeah, the tire fall off is as we mentioned was huge here tonight and definitely made for some great racing. So again, congrats with the win here at Kentucky. Next week we move on to Atlanta. How do you like your chances at that track?
I'm not real sure. I just try to do the best I can. I like Atlanta, but I'll practice it and see what I come up with.
Gotcha, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Daniel, and all the guys for the races every week, and my teammates, Kevin, Adam, Jeremiah, Hunter, and Matthew for all the teamwork, and Shoney's for sponsoring the series.
For sure. And again, not dominating fashion here tonight, but a great run here tonight as you're just dominating this series as well. So we look forward to see what you can do next week at Atlanta, and good luck at there.
All right, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner here tonight, Jonathan Jennings. Of course, we want to thank everybody who makes this league possible, including our series sponsor, Shoney's. Of course, Shoney's is proud to be a sponsor of the Tuesday Night Truck Series. Shoney's open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. So, of course, we want to thank everybody involved here tonight. We want to thank all of our great partners as well, like the Butt Kicker and EPI Racing. You can check out the links down below, intensitybroadcasting.com. Show the support. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. That supports us as well. That means a whole lot to us. So check that out as well if you can. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes as the SCSRA Truck Series is getting ready to take on Charlotte Motor Speedway. So that's going to be a double points race for them. So if you like Charlotte, you like some more truck racing, tune in right here on Intensity Broadcasting. And as always, again, congratulations to Jonathan Jennings, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say. Over and out.